Right, so this is just going to be a short little pilot episode, more or less, about this undertype I'm making. So this is a 1/38 scale live steam compound. So you can see it's got different size cylinder bores. It's an undertype. So let's see. The basically, for anyone who doesn't know, on steam engines, you have what's called portable and semi-portable engines. A portable engine is a locomotive boiler with a stationary engine on top of it, and then you have semi-portable engines, which is a locomotive boiler without any wheels, and then you can either have the engine on top or underneath. The one on top is called a my mind is blanking on the actual term, but I believe it's an overtype, and then the one with it on the bottom, which is like that, if you can imagine that, is called an undertype. So this is actually what will probably end up being the boiler barrel. It's 1 1/4 inches in diameter. It'll sit on a little saddle above the cylinder block, and then it'll have a fire tube that will cross the boiler at an angle roughly like that. And then, as far as I can figure out, it won't be coal-fired, because I don't think a coal-fired boiler this small is going to be practical. So it'll probably be mess-fired, and that's why I'm doing the single fire tube. If I was doing a proper coal-fired boiler, it would probably have 2, maybe 3 fire tubes. But as it's meth, there's not really much reason. So progress up to date is I've got the crankshaft made. This is turned from solid bar. The base is coming along. Got the clearance slots milled out. Let's see if this will stand upright. Probably not. Clearance slots milled out for the crank webs, and then this down here, this is the clearance slot for the pipe that connects the high pressure exhaust port to the inlet on the low pressure steam chest, which that's where the low pressure my finger's in the way. That's where the low pressure steam chest will be, and that pipe will come up through there. And then on this side, you can see that's the exhaust port for the high pressure. And this is getting opened out a little more on the ends to accept the pipe flanges and give that clearance for everything. So that's more or less the engine up to date. Over here, I have the what is the beginnings of the main bearings in the lathe / milling machine. This is a piece of cold rolled, and I'm profiling it up to match the drawing a little bit better. And the way I'm going to do that is, if I can find, here it is. The idea is to use a ball end mill, and I'm going to flip this around in the jaws once I've roughed all this out with a right angle end mill, and then profile that to sort of match the ones on the drawings, which have a very generous curve that goes up to the top. I can't make these exactly like the drawing because it's just not going to work, but I can do something vaguely similar. But in order to make them, I need to go and buy a bigger ball end mill. I think this is I don't know, someone's ground it down. Okay, it's 1/4 inch ball end mill, or it was when it started off its life, and I need a 3/8. So I'll go over to Wholesale Tool tomorrow and get a 3/8 ball end mill, and then get all this profiled up, and that'll probably be the main contents of episode 2. But for now, actually there'll be a very small, maybe it'll go in this video, I'm not sure, but there might be a little time lapse of me roughing out this raw stock right here. So that's more or less the end of this. So thank you all for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that. If